Hello. Notice anything different about my office? Just over there. Yeah, it's a trophy cabinet. It's a trophy cabinet because we're going to be winning some trophies this season. I guarantee it. I guarantee you we're going to win some trophies and we're going to start things off with the Europa League. So let's get settled into it and hopefully, but at least first and foremost, actually win a game in the Europa League. Hello and welcome back to On The Rocks. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode as we have two legs against Rapid Vienna from Austria in the Europa League third qualifying round, as well as playing Livingston in the middle of those two games in the Scottish Premiership. So welcome back, hope you're all doing well. What I will say is that I'm recording this before yesterday's transfer special has been published to you lot, so I'm going to assume that all of you absolutely adored every single transfer I made. None of you could have done a better job than me, and you all think I'm perfect. So thank you very much, appreciate that, and I love in the comment section that you probably said. But obviously, if you don't think they were quite so good, then let me know why you think that, because I'd love to know your reasoning behind some of your thoughts. Whilst you're down there as well, make sure you do drop a like on today's video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here to keep up to date with all of the latest uploads. So since you guys were last here, we've made no more signings. No one else has joined the club or anything like that. We've played one league game so far against Motherwell and we won 3-2, which was very nice. We played fantastically for the first 20 minutes or so with Brooklyn scoring 2 goals inside of the first 20 minutes. And then for the next hour, we played terribly, conceding 2 goals, including a Mark O'Hara penalty, which wasn't great. But luckily for us, Florian Kamberi, last season's top scorer in the league, ended up scoring a 93rd minute winner for us to secure all 3 points on the opening day of the season. Not that it matters because it's only the first game of the season, but temporarily we are top of the table, which you love to see, so at least we can say we have been top of the table at some point this season. Today though, we do not need to think about the league. Today it's all about the Europa League and the games coming up against Rapid Vienna, who are only here because they beat Ajax. And when I say they beat Ajax, I've just gone to check what the score was, and they lost to Ajax because they were playing in the Champions League knockout rounds, not the Europa League knockout rounds, which is why they're now dropped into the Europa League to play against us. So all of a sudden I was thinking, wow, Vienna must be class to beat Ajax. No, Ajax beat them. We've just got the worst of those two teams. So, I mean, that's changed everything. I was preparing for a game against the Rapid Vienna side who must have been really good to beat Ajax. No, they're terrible. Hopefully, they're still terrible against us. That has really boosted my confidence, actually, so I'm very happy with that. To also boost my confidence, I want to try and add a couple of our youngsters into the first team. If anything, just to get them tutored up to the playing really good football. However, a few episodes ago, when the youth intake came through, a few of you guys on the Patreon have claimed some of the players coming through the youth intake, so it only makes sense to rename them now for you guys. So, Martin Anderson was the best player coming through, a centre midfielder who looked absolutely fantastic, and we'll get him into the first team to be tutored up immediately. But thank you very much, Carl, for your contributions to the Patreon. We're now going to call you Tam McLumpfer. I had to look at the other screen to double check that because it's such a cool name, but Tam, you love to see it. So Tam McLumpfer or McLumper, I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to say McLumper because I like him lumping up the field in a Route 1 system. And whilst we're here as well, squad, move to senior squad so we can get you tutored up nicely. We may do the same with 15-year-old Logan Booth, who is a centre-back who looks pretty decent so far. However, he's not going to be called Logan Booth anymore. Mike, thank you very much for your contributions on the Patreon. Massively appreciate it. You are now going to be known as Mike Taggart for the rest of time. And then finally, young striker Logan Angus, who has already got 13 finishing at 16 years old, 15 first touch. Like, he could be incredible down the line. He is now going to be known as one of the coolest players in world football because he's got a really cool name, Harry Storm. You love to see it. So Greg, thank you very much for your contributions. Massively appreciate that. And of course, if you guys want to get involved in the Patreon, get access to save files, a new podcast that I'm going to be doing exclusively for the Patreon and Twitch subscribers, as well, of course, getting your name in the game. Then, of course, there's a link down in the description below to the Patreon. But now it's time to get down to business. The home leg against Rapid Vienna is coming up. And to start the season off, we're playing the same shape and style as last season, albeit with a few slightly different positions. Shankland's coming in as a poacher because that's what he loves to do. Gordon is changing from a winger to an inverted winger instead. and Leif Davis is playing as a wing-back. So different roles down this left-hand side of the pitch. Before we had a pressing forward, a winger and a full-back. But the players we signed fit the formation really, really well, and I think what we might try and do is play a kind of a controlled possession formation every now and again. But I think with the strikers that we've got with Canberry and with where's the Shackland, for example, like we've got to playing again with 2 strikers like we did last season. So we'll stick with this for now, but if it doesn't work, we can move to a controlled possession 4-3-3. So Lewis stays in goal from last season, but the back line is virtually completely different with Davies, McIntyre, Hoban and Laird in that back line. Lennon plays on the right wing with Ferguson playing as that deep line playmaker and new signing Alan Campbell as the ball winning midfielder. Gordon plays on the left wing, not right wing, but left wing. And then we've got Shankland and Canberry up front. So as kickoff is upon us here today, this is a huge game. A massive game. Now last season we embarrassed ourselves in the Europa League. We got knocked out in the first qualifying round to a Moldovan team that none of us had ever heard of before. This season we've just gone 1-0 up against Rapid Vienna at home in the first leg. Who got the goal? Was it Gordon who got the goal in the end? The new signing in on loan from Everton. Gordon got the ball into Canberra. I think he makes the run. The ball goes back to him. No, it's Canberra into Gordon. Gordon shoots. Gordon scores. Brilliant. So already a fantastic start to the game for us. You love to see it. If we can keep that up and keep scoring plenty of goals in this game, it makes our life much easier in the second leg. Away from home, and McIntyre, the new centre-back signing we got on a free from, was it QP? I can't remember where he came from now. We got him on a free signing either way. He puts his header just over the bar, unfortunately. But we seem to have all of the chances in the opening moments of this game at least, which is great to see. Canberry now in the area, just getting it outside the area. Can he get a cross in? Not quite. The clearance, though, is not particularly good as Hoban collects it at the back. The only person from last season's back line to keep his place this season, so far at least. Lennon on the ball on the right-hand side, gets it into Laird. Laird can put a ball into the middle, or into Ferguson. He puts a ball into the middle, and Anthony Gordon gets another goal in today's game. This is much more like it. Why could we not do this last season against a team from Moldova? Rapid Vienna are much better than that Moldovan team, and yet we are schooling them today, which is fantastic. Hopefully, I've not spoken too soon, and they go and beat us 5-2 now, but we'll give it a go. And when I say give it a go, I mean give it a go at winning the game, not losing 5-2. I do not want to lose 5-2, as Davis' throw into the middle is not quite won by Gordon. The second time around it is, though, and Gordon, inside of 19 minutes, has got a hat-trick. He played last game, obviously, in the league, but this is his debut for you guys, and clearly he loves the camera because he's got himself a hat-trick inside of 20 minutes. European nights are what Gordon is made for, and I was a little nervous about him and the other loan signings because obviously you don't want to put too much emphasis on your loan signings because basically you want your best players to be the players that you actually own and have control over. But, you know, if a loan signing wants to get himself a hat-trick, that's absolutely fine by me. I've also just noticed that Yusuf Demir is playing for Rapid Vienna, and I'd love to sign him at some point. I can't remember if he plays full-time for Rapid Vienna or if he's just on loan there this season, but he is certainly a player I would love to sign because he is a Football Manager wonderkid, right? But as we approach the half-time whistle, only 10 minutes or so to go, I'm feeling pretty comfortable right now, as if we can get a fourth goal before half-time, I'd like to think we've got the entire tie wrapped up, but you can never speak too early, particularly when it comes to me playing Football Manager. Gordon on the ball, though, into Davies. Davies going to get it across to McIntyre, up towards Canberry. Not really the most accurate of balls there, unfortunately. As Campbell now wins possession for us. Into Shackland, into Gordon, who's looking for his fourth goal of the game. Can he get the cross in the middle? He can. Canberry's there, hits the crossbar. Should have scored it, really. But at least we're still winning. So as we do actually now reach half-time, we are 3-0 up, as it's pretty decent. And can we actually make it 4 before half-time? Oh, Shankland's through. Shankland shoots. Shankland's shot is saved. But it doesn't matter, because guess what? We're 3-0 up, which is fantastic. Outstretched arms. Very pleased with your performance so far. Keep it up. Please don't mess it up, boys. Let's go and at least secure a first leg big win, and then just try not to get dominated in the second leg, obviously. Shankland coming forward, though. Can he get a ball in the middle? He can get it out to Davies, who can not really get a ball in the middle. He goes too far backwards, really, into the more midfield third as opposed to the attacking third. But Gordon grabs a fourth goal out of nowhere. A ball forward to Canberry is nodded down. And Gordon, 4 goals in 48 minutes. What a player he is turning out to be. Davies, great ball in towards Canberra, who nods it down perfectly to Gordon. Canberra this season is playing that Fraser Hornby role last season. I think Canberra scored so many goals last season because Fraser Hornby assisted him so much by being that target man. This season, Canberra's the target man for Shankland to be the more poacher, advanced forward sort of player, or Piqué to come off the bench and do that. So Canberra will play most games in a supporting role. But if he can keep nodding balls down like that to get assists, you love to see it. 4-goal Gordon on the ball right now as he gets it back to Davies. Can we come forward and grab a 5th goal in this game? I can't believe how well we're playing. And Davies is through down the left-hand side. Can he put a good cross in the middle? He does. Brooks Lennon's there. Brooks Lennon scored. Right, we are going through to the next qualifying round. There's no way that Rapid Vienna are coming back from this. You can also absolutely guarantee that our next game against Livingston, I think it is, will lose 1-0 or something stupid like that. After a great performance in Europe, you can almost guarantee it, right? As we might be about to go 6. We are going 6-0 up. What is happening? Ethan Laird grabs his first goal for the club 60 minutes into the game. Let's make some changes out there. I mean, somehow Alan Campbell's on a 6.8. How he's not had a good game, I don't know. But let's bring Dean Campbell on instead for him. No, Ross McCrory. Let's bring him on instead. And then Tommy Hoban will come off for Zach Medley. I told you, all we had to do was just get some of our own signings into the team, players that we actually like and want to have at the club, and we'll do brilliantly. And Gordon, he could have had a 5th goal. I tell you what, I am just absolutely over the moon with our performance today. What an absolutely fantastic start to today's episode. We've got some great youth players coming through, and we've now just put 6 past Rapid Vienna. Let's make sure we get 2 more wins today, and nearly a 7th goal. Imagine if that went in. Are we finally going to see a Rapid Vienna attack though? 85 minutes on the clock. They are trying to come forward. I don't think we've seen a highlight in their favour yet. And it's not going to be one right now either, because Joe Lewis collects that pass forward from Yusuf Demir. Lewis to clear this one out from the back. It's not really gone brilliantly there. And Yusuf Demir shows his quality and why I'd love to sign him. He gets a crucial away goal. I mean, I don't know how crucial it will be when they're 5 goals down anyway, but you never want to concede an away goal. One final chance for us, though, and I mean, that happened very quickly. A ball went through to Shackland right from the start of the highlight, and he's just put it past the keeper for 7-1. That's his first goal for the club in a competitive game as well. The ball came forward, Gordon just puts it forward to Shankland, and I'm going to say his name wrong constantly. I feel like I keep saying it Shackland or Shankland. I'm going to say it wrong constantly. I do apologise. Get used to it. But we've scored another one. Wow, 7-1. What an absolutely fantastic result there. Very pleased with how you played out there. A great result for us. They're not scoring 6 goals. They're not winning 6-0 in the away leg. Surely. Yusuf Demir, though, he is contracted to Rapid Vienna. If we ask agent about availability, he wouldn't be interested in joining Aberdeen because he's only just signed a new contract, which is frustrating. Work permit is likely, though. They're going to want a lot of money for him. I want to sign him at some point, but we're going to need a lot of money for it. He's valued at 4.1 million right now on 15 grand a week. We need more money. Anyway, a couple of days off until the Livingston game, which you, as I said earlier, can guarantee we'll lose 1-0 now. So what changes do we make to the starting lineup? Honestly, I don't want to take any because they played really, really well, but it would be good to rest some players. So I think Alan Campbell swaps over with Ross McCrory, and then maybe we try and bring some of the youngsters onto the bench. Let's play Piqué instead of Shankland for this game, see how he performs. But I'd like to get Tam McLumper onto the bench instead of Dean Campbell, and we'll bring him on. For the rest of the team, though, we'll leave it as it is. So it took quite a while to get through that first game because of how many goals and highlights there were. Hopefully today's game we go 2-0 up very quickly, and then we can just sort of sit back, relax with no highlights or something like that. That'd be quite nice. To start off with, though, Laird hoofs the ball up towards Piqué. The 18-year-old nearly scores a goal, but can't quite. I do have a soft spot for Piqué just because he is from Barcelona. That's the only reason. I don't think he's even that good of a player, if I'm honest with you. And his potential is not quite as good as I thought it was going to be either. But because he's come from Barcelona, I do just have a soft spot for him. So expect to see him play quite a bit this season. He is very small compared to a lot of other players, though. So hopefully the little and large sort of combination of him and Shackland will do fantastically. But Anthony Gordon, 5 goals for the season now as he just scores a peach of a goal. So McCrory gets the ball into Gordon to PK. PK gets an assist then as the first time shot just curls around the keeper. See, I'm celebrating PK's assist more than Gordon's goal because PK's from Barcelona and I love him. But 1-0 up is a great place to be. We stay on top of the table as it is temporarily, although only 2 games into the season. Rangers clearly must not have a better goal difference than us for some reason. I don't know quite why. But I thought we were going to score a goal, then we didn't. PK might score a goal now, though. He does. You love to see it. My little boy PK. I love him to pieces already. He's got his first goal for the club, the first of many. So like I said, 2 goals up very quickly. That's what I want to see us get, and then just no highlights for the rest of the game. So we can get through this one quickly, and then get to the Rapid Vienna game, and then get through that into the final qualifying stage of the Europa League. There's a lot riding on the next game or so it's important we do really, really well as Gordon comes forward past his man into the area. Can't get that one on target. Every time Gordon gets into the area now, I'm expecting him to score. He's got 5 goals in 2 games, for goodness sake. Like, he's a goal-scoring machine, clearly, so he is a threat every time he gets in the box. And Ferguson, to PK, the smallest man in the box, gets his noggin on the ball and hits it against the crossbar. We are playing brilliantly. I bloody love this side. We've brought the right players in. They fit the system really, really well. And it's just working. It's working so much better than it did last season with players that didn't quite fit the system. They were good, but they weren't good enough to make the system work particularly well. Canberra gets a header there, across from Davies. You love to see this. We've scored 10 goals in just 1 game and a half so far. This is incredible. I don't think we even had an episode last season where we scored 5 goals in an episode, let alone 10. I really can't think of it. Like, we may have had 5 or 6 goals in an episode, thanks to like a 2-2 draw and a 2-2 draw, something like that. But like, we've not scored this many goals in like consecutive games for a long time, and we won the first game of the season 3-2 as well. So in the first 3 games this season, we have scored 13 goals so far, or the first 2.5, which is mental. We've not yet kept a clean sheet though with that Livingston goal. We're still struggling to keep clean sheets, but the defence will get there. Defence will get there. They're still quite young apart from Holborn. They'll be fine. But with 25 minutes or so to go, it's time to do it. It's time to bring Tam McLumper on for his debut. He's more of a playmaker, I think. Yeah, more of a playmaker. So let's bring him on as a playmaker for Lewis Ferguson. And then I think we'll bring McIntyre off for Medley. And then, yeah, they're the 2 changes that we'll make. But Tam McLumper puts a ball into the middle. Does that count as his assist? It doesn't count as his assist. The 16-year-old's free kick was fantastically placed into the middle. I thought it might count as his assist, but I think it bounces off a defender before it bounces off the keeper before it gets turned into the back of a net by. Was it Canberra who puts it in the end? I think it's Canberra who gets the goal there. And I believe it is. Yeah, there it is. Canberra in the 69th minute, scoring another goal. Not quite the assist for Tam McLumper, but if that's what he can do with those sorts of crosses and corners, he is a set-piece genius at 16 years old. I am so excited. I hope you guys are as well. I am so excited by how well this team are playing and the prospects that we've got for the future. So a nice 4-1 victory there as well. Very pleased with that result. Another 3 points on the board. I presume we stay top of the table. We do stay top of the table, and the only team in the division to have a 100% record still. Top of the table by 2 points. You love to see it. What a fantastic start to the season. Now, all we have to do is just rest for 4 days. So let's make sure we rest the entire starting lineup. Make sure they get rest for a day or so. Training, rest, 1 day. And as long as we don't lose 6-0, we're into the next round. When I said in the introduction to today's video that we're going to win some trophies this season to fill that trophy cabinet, I wasn't that confident, but now, after today's episode, I am confident. If we get the Europa League, put us in the Champions League, we're going to win that. Although in quite sad news, one of our scouts has been poached by Reims for £180,000. That's frustrating because he was the really good guy scouting out East Africa for us, or West Africa, sorry. He was quite good. No worries, we can probably find someone else, but it hurts to lose him because he was a good scout. So let's not take any risks. Let's go back to the same lineup that we had for the first leg. So Shanklin back on the pitch, Alan Campbell back on the pitch as well. But other than that, the lineup stays not quite. Who else? Where is Considine? No, he didn't play, did he? No, he's on the bench. It's McIntyre. Okay, that's fine. The team's the same as it was for the first leg, taking no risks, but I don't think we're going to lose 6-0. I mean, imagine if we do lose 6-0 now. That will be heartbreaking. But I'm pretty confident in our abilities to not lose 6-0. Even if we lose 5-0, I'll be happy because we'll still be through into the final qualifying round, which is the playoff round, I believe it is. And I presume we'll play one of the teams that win from this round of fixtures as well. So we should probably keep an eye out on the scores going on around us to see who might be progressing and who we might be playing in the final qualifying round. In the meantime, Brooks Lennon comes forward, crosses it into Gordon, who loves scoring against Vienna. Can't quite do it this time. Annoyingly, I can't actually see the aggregate scores on these, so I've no idea who's going through. I think I remember Victoria Pleasant with 3 or 4-0 up against whoever they're playing against, Midtjylland, but other than that, I've no idea. So I'm clueless. Either way, half-time, 0-0. Not quite as good as the first half as we had at home, but it doesn't matter because we did the job at home. We just need to see this game out and make sure we don't concede 6 goals in 45 minutes. But Yusuf Demir coming forward for Vienna. They've got one of them. They've got one of the 6 they need. Don't worry though, because we're not going to concede another 5. Yeah, surely, 35 minutes to go, we're not conceding another 5 goals, you'd hope. We've got a chance to come forward, although Laird's free kick or throw-in, was just straight to the defender, which was a bit stupid. Hoban at the back though, plays it back to Lewis. Lewis to bring the ball forward, clears it out nicely to no one, so it wasn't really a nice clearance at all. But can we keep the pressure on? No, because we've lost possession, unfortunately. Rapid Vienna coming through the middle of the park. They get it out wide to their winger, who can put a ball into Dibun, I think his name was. And that's the name that I can't pronounce, but he heads it wide of the post. Okay, I'm starting to get a little nervous now because the highlights are starting to come thick and fast for Vienna, and they seem to be running past all of our players. Although they keep coming backwards, they can't get that forward that quickly. So, I just, please don't score another one because you'll make you very nervous. Like really nervous if you score another goal. But here they come. Whew, that was lucky. Let's just drop back to being a bit more balanced. Let's just shout, demands more. Let's maybe make a change. Let's maybe bring Considine on for McIntyre, who's not played particularly well today. Shankland on a 6.2. Let's get him off for PK. And then Ryan Hedges. Gordon scored so many goals recently but can't do anything today, so we'll bring him off for Ryan Hedges, who will play as more of, let's leave it as an inverted winger actually. 20 minutes to go, and I guess maybe actually this 1-0 loss right now is a bit of a wake-up call, right? As much as we've played brilliantly so far today, we're not invincible. We have just lost to a team that we just beat 7-1. So, I mean, swings and roundabouts, at least we're through, but we're not invincible. So, with that win though, we are through into the playoff round of the Europa League qualification stuff. So, just one more tie to win, and then we'll be in the Europa League group stages, which is fantastic. So, we've won the 3rd qualifying round, and we've received £225,000 for winning that. And we've been drawn against Sheriff from, where are they from? From Moldova. Well, this is it, isn't it? This is revenge. This is revenge against Moldova for knocking us out in the 1st qualifying round last season. But what if Moldova's just better than us? What if Moldova, they're our new rivals? Not just Sheriff or the team that beat us last. Moldova as a country are our rivals. And there's not long to wait for that because we play one cup game and then we're straight into those Europa League games. So next episode we'll have Sheriff, a huge game against Rangers, and then the biggest game of them all to hopefully get ourselves into the Europa League group stages with the 2nd leg against Sheriff. You do not want to miss this one. So make sure you drop a like on today's video for me and subscribe to the channel with the notification bells turned on so you're instantly told when tomorrow's video comes out. Until then, I hope you have a great evening and a great day tomorrow. But have a good one. See you later. Goodbye. That was a weird intro. I've lost all. Right, I should have just stopped then, shouldn't I? It was a weird outro. I've ruined it now. Goodbye.